We are back. We are back once again. Welcome back. This is the CCA podcast. I am Q France. Behind the scenes, your boy John McLeod. We are sponsored by Pushing Weight, as always. And today we have a special guest, my bearded brother, the West Coast and worldwide legend himself, Mr. Chris Tatted Buera. Welcome, welcome.
What up, Q, man? Glad to be here, man. Thank you.
Bro, it's been a long time, man. It's been a long time, man. I've seen you everywhere, and like we were talking earlier, like the very first time I saw you in person was your very first contest. That was back in like 2014,
14,
and
yeah, man.
I remember I went to that event, and my whole goal was to connect with the West Coast and meet everybody, WCO guys, everybody that I've seen from Venice Beach, and just connect with you guys and watch to see the evolution of the freestyle culture on the West Coast. And you stood out like none other, man. I was like, I don't know who this guy is, but I got to keep my eyes on him. Right? But before we get into that,
okay,
right, we're going to get into this. That's right. If you have not picked up this book, please do. Behind the Bars, From the Prison to the Podium. This book is not only one of the greatest stories I've ever read as far as a bio book. It's a great story of just overcoming obstacles and just what you can accomplish with faith and just the right people in your life, man. So first, just talk to me about what got you to write this book.
Okay, so we were just like we were talking about when we were getting together right now. We're talking about that first competition, right, in 2014 when me and you first met, and I was joking about like how I had hair. I was trying to grow my hair because I've lost it, but I got tattoos on my head and stuff like that. And at the time, I was trying to hide my tattoos, and I was trying to like hide my past because I got a negative past. I got a very long, extensive negative past. I got into a negative way, and I dug deeper down into that negativity. And when I met you at the first comp, that was like me just barely getting into that whole world, and I was still so new to it that I was still trying to hide my past because I didn't want people to push me away. Like I was loving the environment and the community so much, I didn't want to get pushed away. So I didn't really talk about it too much. I mean, but with my image, I got tattoos all over, and as I started to meet more people, people started asking like, "Hey man, you've been to jail, you look like a biker, you look like," and I'd be like, "Oh man, I got into a little bit of trouble, I made some mistakes and stuff like that, and then when I met my manager, um, he explained to me like he asked me about my past, and I opened up to him. I told him, look man, I got like a pretty rough past, and he was the first one to tell me like, dude, you should write a book, you should write a book. And then I started kind of talking about it, like, dude, like this guy that was giving me some advice, and it's like saying I should write a book, and I hated school. I'm dyslexic. ADHD. You're dyslexic too?
Yeah.
Oh, bro. Dude, so you know that we see things through a different filter.
Yeah.
Right? We look at things, we learn things differently. Like we adapt, we do things differently. So I had a hard time in school, and I stopped. Like I just, so when the first idea, like, you should write a book, I was like, write a book. I don't read books. What the hell, like, if you need to write a book. And
right.
As I started to get more comfortable in the community, I would expose a little bit more. Like, yeah, dude, I went to prison, and yeah, I used to do this and that. And then more people were like, dude, that's a really interesting, like, inspiring story. And so my manager stayed in my ear like, dude, you should really write a book. And I was like, man, I don't know, dude. I've done some things that I'm really ashamed of, and they weigh heavy on my soul. And, so I'm like, I don't want to talk about that, dude. I'm trying to get away from it.
Yeah.
And, and then he explained to me, he's like, dude, what if, the idea, he's like, what if you were willing to expose all your story? And let's just say that one individual read it and you saved him from walking down that same path.
Mm.
And I was like, at first I was like, I don't like, why would anybody care about what, like, how could I save, or like, I'm just a jackass that made a bunch of stupid ass decisions, like, but as that idea started to snowball and get bigger, like the possibility, because dude, prison, all the things that I went through was pain.
Mm.
It was dangerous, it was scary, it was all this different stuff like that, but it was pain.
Right.
And I still carry the pain.
Mm.
And it's like, I look at somebody that's like 16, 17 years old right now, and I'm like, man, dude, like, if you are doing these things I used to do, it's like, man, you're setting yourself up for pain that it's so bad, dude. And
Yeah.
it doesn't wash away with soap.
Mm.
You don't take a shower and it goes away. Like, this stays with you. So that's what got me to write the book. Like,
Okay.
like, as a dyslexic, as ADHD, I can't sit down for a long period of time without, so it's like, to actually sit down and do notes and talk with, with my ghostwriter and do these different things, like, it was a task. And the only thing that got me through that was that, like, there, you can actually save somebody from hurting.
Mm.
And I was
Right.
like, man, I think that's worth it. Like, if it actually could skew a person's thinking of, like, man, maybe I should take this step instead of that step. Like, that would be everything to me.
Yeah.
That would mean the world to me if somebody told me, like, hey bro, you really helped me. I'd be like, thank you. Thank you, God. Like, that's the thing. That's what got the book out, dude. That's why
Yeah.
it's out there, and that's why it's published.
Bro, it's you, like you said, I've dealing with different parks. I go to different parks, talk to a bunch of different people. And it was one time, it's actually the first time when I went and purchased your book. When I met you, when I got the book from you. I went to the park one day and there was a guy there and he was just like roaming around. I figured he was trying to look for somebody's bag to steal or something like that. So I approached him, right? Because the park is my home, man. Like, I'm the
Yep.
police at the park. You know what I mean? So if I see it, I'm gonna stop it because we all have kids in the park and stuff like that. I want to make sure the park is safe. So I went and
Right.
approached the guy, and he pretty much confessed to me that he was looking to rob somebody because he was hungry. And I was like, look, if I had this $20 that I have in my pocket, if I give you this $20, um, would you leave and go eat? And he was like, yeah. I said, but will you come back tomorrow? And he was like, no. And I said, I know you will. I said, if you come back tomorrow, if I see you, you're going to work out with us. And he was like, okay, bet. Right. And he came back. And he worked out. Right. So
Yeah.
the same day he came back, I brought the book to the park and I'm flipping through the book. So I got through half of the book while I was sitting there watching this dude. I gave him a bunch of routines to do, and I got through half of the book. And again, like you said, I'm dyslexic. It takes me a while to read. This is the first time I'm confessing this, and I'm thanking you for bringing this up.
That's what's
Most people
up,
don't
man.
know this, right? But yeah, it's hard for me to just read simple things because we read it backwards and sideways. If we watch it and say it, we don't say what we see,
Yeah.
right? So I'm telling him, I'm like, your journey is not as hard as a lot of people. And I was referring to you. I didn't tell him where it was coming from or anything like that. So your journey is just like other people, but you have the ability to change it, you know? And I was at the section to where you were saying that where you were walking in darkness. and your mom was that light. So I asked him about his family, and it was almost a mirror image. He was talking about how he disappointed his family and everything else. And I was like, you could change that, man. You could change that right now. And that's one of the things I wanted to point out in your book, is that you always had people that wanted to see you do better around you, you know? And I think that's a key thing to have, you know, whether you didn't believe in yourself or not, there was always somebody around you that wanted to see you do better.
My mom, man, you know, and so let me like to explain it, because you've read the book, and for those that haven't read the book, both my biological parents, they died. My first my mom, she overdosed when I was 2, and after she died, my father put me up for adoption. He put me in a foster home, and then he overdosed and died himself soon after I was put into the foster home. And then I was adopted by my great aunt. She's my bloodline of my. She's my great aunt, right? And she became my mother. She adopted me when I was 3 years old, 3.5 years old. She's the only one I know as my mother, you know, that raised me as my mother. Like, she didn't give birth to me, but she gave me life. She gave me a chance. She gave me love. She gave me support. And that was the big thing, dude, that she believed in me when I didn't. You know, I was 15. I was a teenager in juvenile hall, already in and out of jail a bunch of times. And I remember telling her, like, Mom, I'm like, I love you, and you're a beautiful soul, and I appreciate the love and support and the belief in me that you have. But that's not me.
Mm.
Like, I came from drug addicts. I am a drug addict. My parents were criminals. I'm just a piece of what I come from. And the sooner that you accept and me accept, the both of us accept that this is what I came from, and this is just what I am, and what I will always be, what I'm gonna die as, then it will be less painful for the two of us. Every time I come in here, it won't hurt as bad, because we'll accept, like, that's just his life, man. That's just him. And she was like, I'll never accept that. And I was like, Mom, I'm trying to tell you, I'm just coming from me. I'm telling you what I'm going to do. She's like, I don't believe it. I'll never believe it. I'll never accept it. I know that you can change your life. And I know that there's something great. She used to tell me this. There's something, she's not just like, you can change.
Right.
You know, not just like, hey, you can, you know, just change your life and stop getting in trouble. She used to say, there's something great for you. It's waiting for you, but you have to be willing to work for it.
Wow.
It's not going to be given for you, but you have to be willing to work for it. And so she stayed in my ear. You know, she stayed in my ear. She stayed in my ear. And that was the thing, is that when I met you for the first time in 2014 at that competition, we jumping all around all over the timeline and stuff, but it's like, my grandma was there at that competition, right? And when they gave me the trophy, like, she came up to me afterwards and she put her hands on my face, like, she held my face and she said, like, your mom would be so proud of you. And, like, dude, like, my heart just, like, blew up. Like, that's what she was talking about.
Wow.
She fucking knew it. This is it. Like, look at all these fucking people. Look at, like, the freaking all these people yelling, and all these, like, you know, fitness celebrities, Bella Falcone, like, millions of followers. Here's your trophy. Right. And I'm like, this is freaking apart. Like, this is insane. And everyone's like, you win. You're the winner. You're the winner. And I'm like, dude, this is what she was talking about.
Right.
She always knew.
Yeah.
She always knew everything. When I was 6 and she was like, don't touch that, that's hot, she was right. And then when I was in jail and she was like, there's something great for you, she was right. She was always right.
Right.
I'm like, you know,
bro, that's a powerful thing. And like I said, I don't want to get too far into the book because I want people to read it. But long story short, like you said, it's a very riveting story, very riveting story. Drug abuse, in and out of jail, violence, and like I said, 2014 started that shift. Well, it started before that, but the shift started with that first win. And like I said, I was so happy I was there for it. I didn't even understand what I was witnessing at the time because it was my first time out in LA. I just wanted to connect with everybody and everything else. But what I remember was you were one of the most explosive people on the bar I've ever seen in years. And I'm like, wait a minute, what's happening on the West Coast? Right? And you learn to muscle up, watch somebody do a 360, immediately got addicted to it, went out to Venice Beach, hooked up with the WCO guys. They immediately threw you into a competition, which you won, and like your fame took off. Like it literally just took off, man. Like amazing. Like I watched you go from rarely unknown. I saw you on the beach with the guys practicing crazy stuff, falling and the whole 9 yards, to winning the competition. And then you're on planes. What was that like? The first plane ride? First of all, what was the first plane trip that Calisthenics took you to?
Okay, so the first plane, the first time I took a plane to the comp was to Florida, to Zach Rufo's house.
Zach Rufo, shout out to Zach.
Yeah, shout out to Zach, man. That's my boy.
Beer gang. He's also part of the beer gang.
Also part of the beer gang, dude. Yeah, Speedbag Skunk.
Yes, indeed.
So I went out to his house, and he put on a really great competition. It was freaking awesome. That's where I met Ed Checo for the first time.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Ed was judging the competition, and Zach beat me. Me and Zach we battled head up, me and him, and Zach beat me. He executed, like, dude, his iron cross. Always his iron cross is like.
Did he rip his shirt?
He started it off with a weighted iron cross. Like he had chains, and it was just the guy killed the set, and it was, you know.
That was the comp where it was raining, right?
Yes. Yes.
I remember that.
When it was raining. And so after the comp, Ed came up to me and was like, "Hey man, it's real nice to meet you. You know, I haven't met you yet, and it's nice to meet you. And you're doing some crazy shit, you know, like the moves you were going for were big. You know, I was slipping off the bar because it was a little wet, and I was just messing up. It wasn't my best day. But Ed said, like, hey man, you're doing some, like, the moves you're going for, they some big moves, man. And so the federation, the WCF, I can always mess it up.
WSFCF or something like that.
There you go. The federation. That's what I know it as. You know what I'm saying? The federation. Ed told me, like, they're gonna put on a competition, and they're holding a world championship in Moscow, and that they're looking for U.S. representatives. And the way you do it is you submit a 2-minute video of your best routine, unedited, can't be, you know, it's just raw footage. And Ed's like, I think that you should shoot a video, you know? And I was like, I'll send in a video, bro, but I had to freaking go to Russia, bro. That's crazy. Like, I've been watching the videos of Russia, you know, Juan, like watching Juan over there doing all this crazy mad, like the things that they do over there is nuts, you know? I'm like, wow, Russia, that's crazy, right? I never even been out of the country. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, freaking, so, but the thing is that for Ed to ask me to submit a video, or just to say, like, I think you should submit a video. I remember coming back from Florida and telling my dad, like, hey man, these guys asked me to be a part of a competition that the winner is going to go to Russia. Like, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to go to Russia, but I'm just saying, like, it's pretty cool that they asked me to be a part of this competition. Like, people from all around the United States are going to send videos in. So I got asked. Like, that's pretty cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit. Yeah. And then my dad's like, hey man, that is pretty cool. You know, like, you go out there every day, you talk about working out every day. So you know, that's good. That's good. And then, like, a couple weeks later, Ed contacted me and was like, hey man, you won. Like, you and Ish.
Oh,
you and Ish are gonna represent the United States. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, you're going to go to Moscow. You need to get a passport. And I was like, what? Like, I'm going where? Like, dude, hey, bro, I fucking started looking up like U.S. relations with Russia. Like, I'm starting Googling, bro, I never been out of the country. I'm like, well, I don't even know what's going on.
You think,
dude? I had to drive to San Francisco to like apply for a visa, and
wow.
all like it was a trip, bro. And so then I went out to Russia, 14 and a half hours from LA to Moscow.
Whew.
Craziest thing, like bro, I was out of my mind, dude. And then I remember getting to Moscow and I was like meeting everybody. That's when I first met Eric Ortiz for the first time. Like, dude, like I see him and he just like pops into this full planche, like, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, okay, calm down. You won by being here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like that was my whole mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in Russia.
Yeah.
If I come in 65th, dead last, I won because I'm in Russia.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, and
on your merit.
Dude, and then came in second place, man.
Second place.
Countries.
Bro, is it safe to say that your journey from the last time you were in jail to your second competition was a huge learning experience?
Oh.
Like it was first of all, it was the most like straightforward, honest. You not honest, but you weren't doing anything violent, anything illegal, anything like that, and you were pretty much just relearning the world, right?
Relearning the world, dude. Like, straight up, as a grown man, I was like learning how to board a plane. Like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, how to function inside of an airport.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what the dude? Crazy.
Yeah,
I've been in 19 countries now.
Wow.
19 countries, man.
Wow.
It's like insane to me. Like, I accepted that I was gonna either die. I thought I was gonna die in prison. You know, I was gonna die in the cell. Like, I kept when I caught my first, I was going in and out of juvenile hall like as a kid a lot, right? But when I started the whole cycle as a kid, going in and out, and I started, gang banging and doing all this fucking nonsense, I didn't make it longer than 60 days. So, like, if I came out of jail, I was back in jail within 60 days. Wow. Like, sometimes I would go 50 days. Sometimes I'd go 14 days. And I'd be in jail, right back in jail. Just boom, in and out, in and out. So the thing is that I accepted. That's the thing that I was telling you when I told my mom, like, it's going to hurt less if we can accept that this is what I'm going to do. Because this is what I've been doing. And, so.
You fail to believe that.
Dude.
You said she failed to believe that. And I think part of it was also all of the opportunities that were presented to you. Because that last time you were in jail, you were out.
Her not giving up hope, right? Her saying, like, I refuse to believe that. I will never accept that, right? She gave me tough love, like, in the sense that, like, if I got out of jail and then she saw that I had a bunch of money, or, like, if she saw I was on drugs, like, it didn't matter if I got out of jail yesterday. She'd call my PO, she'd call the cops, and she'd be like, you need to come get this money. He messing up. He got all this money, don't have a job. Like, he on drugs. Like, you need to come get him. And she would put me in, like, I'd say she put me in jail a third of the times that I've been to jail.
Wow.
Like, she put me there. And then she would come see me the next day and say, I love you. And I know you can change.
Wow.
And that's why I put you here. And she would give me, send me money while I was in jail. She would support me, but she wouldn't support the negative.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She put me in jail super quick.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
You said you also talked about how you had menial jobs and she was so happy.
Well, the thing is that, so that's the thing, that was the whole reason why I was able to change, right? Because I accepted that I'll never change, right? I'm never going to change. I'm a big dum-dum. I came from dum-dums and this is just what it is, blah, blah, blah. So my last prison term, I was in the hole, right? Like I got into a riot and then I was in the hole and I was writing a letter to my mom, letting her know like, hey, I got into some trouble. I'm in the hole. I'm not going to be able to call you for like maybe 3-4 months. Um, I'm in a jam. So if you can send me some money, I'd really appreciate it because I need some deodorant and I need some soap. I need some stuff because I'm in the hole right now, right? And it dawned on me like it never had dawned on me before, right? Like I realized that I could always count on her. I always knew I could count on her. I took from her. I'd get out of jail. I'd rob her. And then I'd ask for more. I'd take more, right? But this time I'm sitting in the hole and I'm writing a letter and it just dawned on me like it never done before, where I was like, all I do is take from this woman. That's all I do. Like I ask for more. Can I have more? Can you give me more? Can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? And then when I'm out on when I'm out and on drugs, like I just steal from her. I'll go in her purse, take money. Like all I do is take. I don't give anything to this woman.
Right.
And she gives me everything. And I know she's gonna be mad at me that I'm in the hole. She's gonna be like, man, he's messing up still. She's gonna be mad. But you know what? She's going to send the money.
Yeah.
The money that I need. Maybe she'll hold it for a couple weeks. Like, I'm going to let him know that I'm mad at him.
Mm-hmm.
But then she's going to be like, I know he needs this.
Right.
And so she'll send it. I can count on her. But she can't count on me for nothing.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, when I get out of jail this time, like, I don't think I can change my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm a grown man. I've been doing this way too long. Didn't graduate nothing. Didn't graduate junior high. Didn't graduate high school. I got no trade skills. I got no education. You know, like, I'm not going to, all my odds are against me. So if I did, and every time I'm going to change, I never. So I was like, look, if I get out this time and I just spend some time with her.
Yeah.
You know, I don't just go to the neighborhood or get high the same day I get out of jail. If I can spend a week with her, 2 weeks with her, and just her, not high, and just tell, like, so that I can explain to her, like, I love you and I am grateful for you. I am sorry that I am such a mess up, that my mind is so broken that I can't fix myself. But I do appreciate you, who you are, and all that you do for me. That was the plan. Like, I got out of jail. That was the plan. Let me just give her that. Let me just at least let her know that I am grateful. Even though I don't act grateful and I just take. Let me just at least let her know that I'm grateful. And dude, that it just snowballed.
Yeah.
Like, as the light in her eyes, the smile on her face, the happiness that she was radiating to see me not on drugs, not running around doing all this chaos and all that, like, it just kept building and building. And then she was like, you need to get a job. And I was like, Mom, I can't get a job. I ain't got no skill. You know, she's like, well, you think you're going to live off me your whole life? You guys better go get a job. Like, I ain't paying your crap, you know? And so I went out, and that was a big learning thing, dude. Like, walking into Subway, dude, I remember, like, that was when it hit me, though. Like, I walked into a Subway, and it was like a I don't know how old the kid was. He must have been like 16 to 18. A teenage kid, right? I just got out of prison, years, third time in prison, right? And I could not look this kid in the eye and ask him for an application.
Wow.
I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? I've walked on prison yards with my head high, blah, blah, blah. And now I'm like, I can't look this freaking kid in the eye and be like, hey, man, you guys hiring?
Real life scary.
Dude, real life, you know, like, I'm like, man, that's fear pumping through my heart, bro. I'm like, this is something I need to recognize.
Yeah.
That was a learning thing. That was a big learning thing, to set me back and be like, man, you a grown man. You're a child, man.
Mm-hmm.
You're a child in a grown-up's body.
Wow.
You have not fucking grown to take care of yourself, you know? And when I filled out the application and didn't get no callback, nothing. From McDonald's to Subway to nothing. Nobody would even give me an interview,
Right.
And then so my mom was like, you need to fill out some more applications. And I'm like, dude, I've been filling them out. Nobody called me back. She's like, go fill them out again. The same ones. Go fill them out again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, all right, like, if that's, if that makes you happy, I'll do it. I'll fill out the paper and they can throw it away if that's all they do. As long as you're making you happy. And then I ended up getting a dishwashing job through my cousins.
Right.
That was the only chance I got through family. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
They had like a little venue where they host weddings, and they had a catering company that would bring their food all the time. They used the same catering company. And so they told the catering company, like, hey, you don't have to bring a dishwasher to our event no more. We're going to hire our in-house dishwasher.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, my cousins were like, hey, Chris, would you like a job? And I was like, yes, I want a job. What up?
Yeah.
I'll do whatever. And they're like, it's going to be washing dishes. I was like, please. And so I did that. And then my cousins, they promoted me, their business is called the Sepulveda Home. So just to like shout out to them because they gave me my opportunity, And then they talked to the catering company saying like, hey, you see our cousin doing the dishes? He worked real hard back there, Like, why don't you give him a chance of being a server?
Mm-hmm.
So then I became a server. And then I like started working started earning my way. I became a bar back. Then I went to the school, like the little 3-week school, became a bartender.
Wow. Yeah.
Then I got my bartender, my bartender's license, became a bar. Then I started doing like a little bit of event coordinating, like started hosting a little thing, go pick up the food all by myself, set it all up and to break it down. I'm like, hey, I'm making moves,
Right. Right.
And
Making some money, paying bills.
dude, my mom was through the roof. Mom, like,
Yeah.
dude, I would come home because I'm on my feet all day, right? Like serving food and stuff. I come home, my feet hurt. She's like, how was work? I'm like, dude, my back is killing me, man. My feet hurt. And she'd just laugh. She'd have this little laugh and she'd be like, that's so good. I love it. Like, yeah, I hope it hurts more tomorrow. And I love you for sticking to it.
Right. Right.
You
That's the key
like
part.
I hope it does hurt more tomorrow. But I love you because you're sticking to it.
Wow.
And you know what? You deserve it.
Mm.
You've been coasting too much in life. You deserve this. And I'm like, you're right. And then that was just and then the thing is that everything was going great, man. Honestly, when I was working at the catering company and everything I was happy, dude. I never knew that happiness in life was a real thing because I was going through so many years of prison and all that different shit. Like it was shocking to me to feel how happy that time was.
Mm.
And then in 2012, my mom got sick with cancer. And she had a knot on her head, dude. I came home from work one day and she had this bump on her head. And she's like, yeah, I got this bump. And I'm like, you should go get it checked, man. What the hell? Like, why not? Da-da-da. And so she did. And it was a cancerous tumor that was growing on her brain. And the cancer had already spread to her lungs. And it was quick.
Wow.
Once she was good, man. She was vibrant. She was happy. She was life. She was the anchor of my whole family. And then it was like, yeah, I got this little bump. Maybe I should get it checked. And then it got checked and it was like, yeah, it's cancer. Boom. Fuck, dude. It was like a rock. It went quick, dude. And she passed away on my birthday.
Wow.
And I thought I knew pain, dude. Like honestly, I thought I knew what pain was. Going through prison, being away from my family and hurting my family, stealing from my family, hurting them, getting beat up, like in prison, getting hurt, getting in riots and getting like, stomped on and just I thought I knew pain.
Mhm.
You know? When my mom died, dude, I met pain.
Wow.
I met
Wow.
what pain was, and I didn't go back to drugs and I didn't go back to my neighborhood or anything like that, but I had no more drive.
Mm.
Like when I told you, like I was at the most happiest moment of my life. Like I didn't know happiness could be that vast. And when she passed away, man, I didn't want to live anymore. I was very suicidal. I was very suicidal. I'm Catholic. I was raised Catholic. I'm Catholic, and it's the belief in the Catholic religion that if you commit suicide, you're not going to go to heaven. You go to purgatory. And I know
Right.
that I know my mom's in heaven. Like my mom was an angel, not only for the things that she did for me, but I watched her do it for so many people. Man, she was an amazing soul, just to radiate love and help, and So I know that she's in heaven, and I want to see her again. I want to be with her again, and that was the only thing that kept me from taking my life. Like I was
Yeah.
like I was like I want to. I'll take my life right now if I can see her again. Like I'll do it. But I know that that's what's gonna keep me from seeing her again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
'Cause-
so that was the only thing, dude.
wow. Because I know in the book you mentioned you had suicidal thoughts prior to that.
Yeah.
You know,
And that's the
but
thing is
for the
that
same reason, your faith kept you
yeah,
from doing that.
yep.
Bro,
And
that, I
like
mean,
honestly, in the past, I had a gun. Like I had a gun in my hand. You know what I'm saying? Like I put it in my mouth, put it in my head. I'm holding it, playing, like doing all this, contemplating it, right? And I thought I was suicidal then. Like I thought I was close to actually doing the do at that point. When my mom passed, dude, I was 10 levels past that.
wow,
I was
wow,
ready for it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, end it now. Let's do this.
yeah,
Um, but I wanted to see her again.
yeah,
And the thing is that I fell into a very bad depression, man. Because the thing is that like I don't know where the idea of these 5 minutes, but I had this idea that like spawned it in my mind that I like 5 minutes, right? Like, please, like I would like beg the universe, like let me just get 5 more minutes to talk to my mom.
mm,
I just want to tell her thank you. I just want to tell her I love her again. That's all it is. I like just please give me 5 minutes.
mm,
And it hurt so bad that I was begging for 5 minutes, and I threw away years, so many years in prison, on the street, doing drugs, running around, doing all this shit that I thought it was cool. And now I'm just begging for fucking seconds
yeah, yeah,
to talk to her again. And so I couldn't shake it, dude. I couldn't shake it. It was destroyed. Like I was going down. A lot of my family was like, oh yeah, Chris is on drugs, because I wouldn't go outside. I was pale. I was losing weight. I was like, I wasn't going to work. Right. Like I work for a catering company. So like, it's all on call. They would
right,
say, hey, do you want to do this wedding on the 20th? No, like I just stopped answering. No, I don't want, like, I'm not working. Everybody's like, dude, I think he's on drugs again. Like like shit, his mom died, so people were already starting to write me off and thinking, and my dad's neighbor, dude, mentioned to me Metroflex, Long Beach Metroflex, right? He's like, hey, I've been going to this gym. It's a pretty hardcore gym, bro. It's real fucking crazy. He's like, I think it's your type of place. And he's like, I know that you've been down with your mom passing and stuff. And I'm like, fuck, I don't want to go to the gym. The fuck am I going to the gym? I didn't give a shit about anything.
right,
But then that, like, it started spinning a little more in my head. Like, damn, I remember being stressed out in prison and being like, okay, when I used to work out, I'd feel a little better,
mm-hmm,
or I'd at least sleep, like if I fucking do burpees for an hour, I'm going to sleep that night because I'm get tired, right? Or if I just
right,
go to the gym and walk on the fucking treadmill, I'll sleep, right? I'll be able to fucking get tired, exhaust my body, and I won't stare at my fucking ceiling contemplating suicide all damn night, you know?
Right.
So so I went to Metroflex Long Beach, and that's where I fucking ran into calisthenics, dude.
Wow. So
There's a guy named Ace. His name's Michael. And like Ricardo, Justin, El Nino, there was a couple of guys, right? There was like a group of guys that were there. And like coming out of prison and, you know, fucking mess with people's workouts. Or,
right.
you know, you don't know. So I'm not that type of individual. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, hey, you guys look real strong. Teach me.
Right.
Like,
Right.
what the fuck?
You in your own,
like,
you in your own little zone.
Yeah, you know, you do your thing, I do my thing. Stay in your lane, homie. The fuck, right? Like that's what I came from, right?
Right.
So I would have never bothered these guys. But I seen them doing muscle up. I never seen a muscle up in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like doing bar work and pull ups and shit, but I just never seen a muscle. So it was Ricardo. Like I know you know personally, you know.
Of course, yeah.
So Ricardo
definitely.
had a real clean, strong muscle up. And when he did it, it looked bonkers to me. I was like, what the fuck did he just do? Like, how the hell? I've been fighting for years to get the bar to my Adam's apple. You know, like, you know, full extension, But then he went to his hip, and I'm like, whoa. And then Ace did a 360. And I was like, this is how much out of fitness I was. I was like, that was some rollerblader shit. Like I didn't even think gymnastics. You know what I'm saying? I was like, that was like some X Games rollerblader fitness thing. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what? And then Ace saw me watching him, and he was like, "Hey, bro, can you muscle up?" And I was like, "I don't even know what that is." And he's like, "Bro, come try it, man. Come try it." And to be honest, dude, I was like, my ego kicked in. You know, like I'm in a prison. You know, I do bar work. I think I can do it. Fuck, I got humbled real quick. I couldn't do a pull up to my forehead. You know, I was in a depression. I was like, fucking head couldn't even get to the bar and shit. So then, but they were real cool, man.
But you came back. You came back.
The community that I understood, dude.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that shit what it was. You know what I'm saying? That was my taste. Very, 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 very first taste of calisthenics, of calisthenic community, dude.
Right.
They told me right there on the spot, hey, man, we're at Venice Beach every Sunday. You should come hang out with us. And I was like, yeah. I remember going the first Sunday, like that, right? That next Sunday I went, I took an ice chest full of waters. I like, you know, I wanted to be accepted. Like, please accept me, you positive, cool guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was trying to cover my tattoos and shit. I was like, I went there that Sunday, and man, it felt like it felt like it was. I got my head above water. It felt like I've been drowning, and I can finally breathe again.
What did you say to your family after you like kept going to Venice Beach? Like, what would you tell them?
Dude, I was like, I'm doing this workout thing. Like, because they started noticing, because it was like 7 months, maybe a little more, that I was in that depression after my mom died. You know, it was a good chunk of time. And my family were like worried about me, writing me off, thinking I was on drugs again and stuff, you know? So then when they start seeing me being vibrant and started talking and being around, walking around, they're like, hey, man, you look good. What you doing? And I've been working out at the beach. And they're like, okay. Like, that's cool. Like, you know, like, I guess fucking working out. Like, yeah, that's a good thing. You know, working out's good. You know? And then I started being like, they're like, where's Chris? Oh, he's at the beach. He's at the beach. He's at the beach. And I was like, I just started going every day for like 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day. And then it's like, then I started like canceling work. I just like, you know, like, hey, do you want to work on Sunday? Nope. If it's a Sunday, don't call me. Don't call me for Sundays, you know? And then before Battle of Bars 3, before me and you met, they had Battle of Bars 2 in San Jose.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to go. I was like, what? They got competitions? Oh, bro, I'm going to go check this out. This is going to be awesome. And I was already booked for a wedding that weekend. So then I try to like talk to my coworkers like, hey, can you cover me for this thing? I really want to go. And nobody could cover me and I couldn't get the time off. I didn't get to go to the event.
Mm-hmm.
And it fucking pissed me off, dude. I was like, man, F work. I quit. I quit my job. I was like, man, I'm done, dude. I'm just going to focus on this.
Right.
And then people were like, how you going to make money? And I'm like, I don't know yet, but I don't care. Because I'm going to tell you, like, when I first got into this, I was thinking about killing myself. Like, honestly. Like, that's where I was in my mind. And now that today I'm happy, I don't really care about money. Like, I'm not worried about the money. Like, I understand that I'm going to have to figure out money at some point.
Right.
But at moment in time, at this, right, I'm happy.
Bro, that's the definition of a leap of faith. That's a leap of faith. That's a leap of faith. You went towards happiness. And now look at you. So I always say that certain people came into this culture at the right times. Right? So WCO is established. The third competition is done and over with. The world is watching this now. You get your first trip out to Russia. And now it continues. Like, it's coming again. Norway and Germany and Dubai and all of these things. What stuck out to me the most was Dubai. Like, when I was watching you in Dubai, and you spent quite a while out there, and you were doing workshops in the whole 9 yards. And it's the first time I realized that people can actually make a living doing this. Like, I always thought that, okay, yeah, you could be a personal trainer and you could train people, everything else, but you can actually travel and do this also and broaden it. So
yeah.
Talk to me about Dubai specifically, because I thought that was like one of the it made me really research a lot more on what these other countries were doing.
Yeah. So Dubai, once I started winning a couple of competitions and everything, right? And I had already quit my job, and that's what led me into doing so much work to being able to win competitions. That Kenneth Galarzo, right? He gave me a NASM book, and another one of my buddy gave me a NASM book. Was like, look, bro, I know that you quit your job and stuff, so if you want to go this way full time, you get certified as a personal trainer, you know? So I was like, okay, like that's an idea. Like, let's do it. Right. So I started studying that. And then when I got my certification, then the WCO was establishing themselves more and more. And then they're like, hey, we're going to start doing these workshops. Do you want to be a master trainer through the WCO? And I was like, yeah, why not? And they're like, okay, you're going to have to take this course. And, you know, I'm like, all right, let's do it. Let's see what happens. You know, let's see what this provides. So I did these courses, did this and that. Then we started doing a little bit of workshops, right? We did one in San Diego. We did one like, you know, here in the States, right?
Yeah.
We're doing like, you know, and Ken had did one in Kuwait, right? Like he had been outside the country a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was like telling him like, hey, bro, you know, I want to go do some workshops. You know, like I'll check out the Middle East. That'd be cool. I really want to go to Dubai. Dubai looks real cool. He's like, yeah, we got you on, you know, we got you in mind. So if it had, you know, so
Right.
then Ken had did a workshop in Dubai. He had done one already. And then Yusuf, this guy that took his workshop his first time, asked him to do another one. Right? Like, hey, I'm going to do another workshop and you come out and I'm going to host it and blah, blah, blah. So Ken's like, yeah. All right, cool. And Ken asked me like, hey, you want to assist me with doing this workshop in Dubai? And I was like, yes. Like, yes, let's do it. Right? So we go to Dubai, do the workshop. It goes real well. Right? It was real amazing. Like Dubai was amazing. Right? I just went there completely blown away. learned a whole bunch about the Middle East. Not only just about Dubai and the UAE, but learned a whole bunch about the Middle East that like here in the States we kind of get some negative stigma and some like BS ideas about the Middle East. Like, bro, it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
So like went out there, did the workshop, was really great, right? Come back, and Yusuf that hosted the workshop, he's like, hey, I'm gonna open a calisthenic gym. Would you like to be a trainer there? And I was like, what do you mean? You want me to do a workshop like when it like opens up? And he's like, no, I want you to live here and work at my gym. And I was like, what? Like, what? And he's like, yeah, man, we'll give you a car, like, you know what I'm saying? We'll provide these things for you. You know, we'll help you get a house and a car and blah, like, you know, like. And I was like, what? I was blown away, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like when I went to Dubai to do the workshop, I told my dad, like, hey, I'm gonna go to Dubai and teach a workshop. And he's like, wow, man, that's really cool. You're doing a lot of great things, Chris, and that's really cool. And then when I was like, hey, Dad, they want me to live in Dubai. And he's like, hey, man, I'm gonna miss you. And I was like, oh, dude. He's like, that's really good though, man. You must be doing really good. Like if they want you to live there, you know. And
Yeah.
so at first they asked me to live there for 2 years. You know, they're like, hey, we can do a 2-year contract and da da da. And I was like, dude, 2 years, it's a long time, you know. And I helped take care of my dad, my sister and I like helped take care of my dad, you know. So um, I was like, I don't know, dude, that's a long time. And as much as I want to do it, you know. And then so they came down to a year. And then I talked to my dad about it, and then he was like, it's kind of a long time. And then so they came down to 6 months, and my dad was like, I don't want to hold you back. You do your thing, do your thing. And I'm like,
Right,
all right.
right.
So I went out there, you know, and it was amazing, dude. It was amazing, you know, and that was a big piece of like I had already won some competitions and done some traveling, you know, but now being in the Middle East and living there, um, being employed there, like the idea that people in another country wanted my services,
Yeah.
like it was baffling to me, but it helped me grow. It was a big step, you know, it was a big stepping of my growth mentally,
Right,
you know,
right.
coming into understanding of who I am or what path I'm on now.
Hmm.
Because like to be honest, Q, like I carry a lot of guilt and shame because of my past. I've done a lot of fucked up shit, dude. I've hurt a lot of people. And being who I am today, I look back at who I was back then, and it hurts. You know, it hurts, and I'm ashamed. And so it was living in Dubai, them giving me that opportunity really helped me to grow. I'm still growing. Like I still carry shame from my past, but when I moved to Dubai, it helped me let go of my past a little bit more.
Right.
You know, I'm constantly trying to do self work and forgive myself and forgive all those that have done wrong to me. And because I'm trying to forgive myself, you know, I've
Right.
done a lot of things that like I hold myself accountable for, like, and I put myself down for, you
Hmm.
know, and so when people in another country the other side of the world, like Dubai too, not just like another country. Like Dubai is like in a lot of people's eyes like the richest and the most sought after, the bucket list. Like I gotta go to Dubai. Like you know, it's a very it's a big thing, like a very image, you know, and so to have people in that region seek me out, like, hey man, we'll pay you. We want you here to teach us.
Right.
Um, it was a big stepping thing for me to help me understand that I can let go of my past.
And you're deserving of what's coming to you also. You
Thank
know,
you.
like your mother said. Like
Yeah.
your mother said, this is what you were destined to do. She saw it way back then. She
She
didn't know
did.
where it was coming or what it would be that you would be doing, but you're walking in that path right now. And I think you've probably exceeded her expectations highly,
Thank,
exceeded those
thank you. I
expectations.
appreciate
Like I
that.
said, that first time I saw you at the concert, I saw everybody. I saw you had the shirts with her face on it and everything.
Oh,
And I remember that stuck out in my mind because I was like, oh, he's doing this for a bigger reason, you know? And and what most people might have seen as reckless abandon when you were on the bar, because again, you were one of the most fearless people on the bar. Um, to hear the story behind it, man, realize there's a lot of passion and dedication behind it, man. It's truly inspirational, brother. Truly inspirational.
thank
Um, so let's fast track to right now. I see that you've been doing a lot of CrossFit too.
I like work, bro. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like I like a challenge,
yeah,
you know, and CrossFit is a fucking challenge, man. You know, a lot of people don't like CrossFit for whatever reason, and you know everyone's has their opinion is right, you know, has their right to their opinion, and especially in our community,
yeah,
right? Like we come from a very strict, very controlled, very strong movements, right?
right,
Like our muscle ups, our pull ups, our dips, our everything, right? Our big thing is full extension,
yeah,
full range of motion,
right,
full control, right? And so, because I'll be honest with you, I was guilty of it, right? Like when I first got into the calisthenic world, and then like you know seeing the butterfly pull up, be like, man, that ain't a pull up, dog. I'll show you a pull up strip,
yeah,
man. Boom,
yeah,
boom, boom, boom.
right,
But the thing is that when I started seeing like the wads, the hero wads, like when I started seeing hero wads, that's when I was like, what the heck is a hero wad? And they're like, oh, they made a super difficult workout that a lot of people can't do or it's hard for them to complete, and they do it in the name of a fallen soldier. And
right,
I'm like, what? Let's line them up. Let's do it.
yeah,
You know, I want to do them all. And they're like, no,
right,
there's hundreds of them. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, but I'm like, love, I just love challenge. That's
yeah,
the thing. That's the reason why like my handstands and all the different stuff, my Instagram, I feel like, well, like things like that started taking off when I did it, because when I learned my handstand, I couldn't stop.
mhm,
And then I want to push the envelope, right? I'm like, I got a handstand, and I'd be at the mall and be like, oh, look at that water fountain. Let me see if I can do a handstand on the top of it, you know? Or let me see if I can do a flag off the elevator as it goes up, you know?
yeah.
And it's like, you going to get hurt.
Constant challenge,
And I'm like, man, I just want to see if I can do it,
right,
you know? Or it's like, I want to do a muscle up with chains, or I want to do this or that. And people are like, hey, why? And I'm like, why not?
right.
Why
That
not?
challenge, that challenge,
That's the
about that
thing.
challenge. Yeah, it's
Exactly.
and then plus you've already started studying different modalities and fitness and all of these things, and you start to learn that all exercises are for everyone. You shouldn't
Yes.
you shouldn't just say I don't want to do that. Why not? Try it. You might like it. I've done
Yeah.
CrossFit. I've done CrossFit events. I've done a bunch of things. And like I said, like you said, it's just the challenge of it. It's just the
Yeah.
challenge of it. I could be a winner in a bunch of different areas. You just got to be brave enough to go out and try it.
Dude, you know,
Basically.
I've done 7 Tough Mudders and I've
Whew.
done 3 Spartan races. And I honestly, to be honest, I don't like to run.
Me either.
You know, and these are races, but the thing is that they're like obstacle courses and they're challenge. They're a challenge.
Right.
So that's why I'm like, I'll do it. Like that's you know, I want the challenge. That's the thing, and that's the reason why when people say like, "Oh, you do CrossFit too, you do this," I'm like, I'll do anything that's a challenge. Like I was talking with my manager while we were waiting to get started with here. I was thinking like, man, you know what would be really cool is to hold a world record. Like I would like to have a plaque by Guinness, right? And I'm like, let's figure something out to do, right? Pull-ups, dips, burpees, I don't know, backflip. Let's figure out something and try to start working towards it.
And
right?
that's the beauty of Guinness.
In a year, maybe we can get it.
Right. And that's the beauty of Guinness. You could pretty much write your own challenge.
Yeah.
You could write your own challenge specifically. I'm going to do the most muscle up 360s in 2 minutes. And that's a challenge. You could have the Guinness World Record for that. That's the beauty for it, man. I mean, I know a couple guys in calisthenics already have Guinness records. I know a couple guys that are aiming towards it. So I'm definitely going to write you down as one of these people to look out for a Guinness World Record.
That would be cool. I mean, you know, I just think that it would be cool to have my name on one of those plaques. And then I'm like, it's not easy to get your name on that plaque. So that's why I really want it.
Yeah.
I want the challenge.
And you have that forever. You have that forever.
Exactly.
You could
until the next person comes and be like, hey, bro, you got 9, I'm going to do 12.
Right. Exactly.
And that's how we find out. Right? When people will be like, hey, man, why you trying to do muscle ups with weights around your ankles and your neck and all this different stuff? I'm like, because we don't know what we're trying to figure out what we can do.
Bro, the body's an amazing thing.
And we got to push it to figure out what we can do.
Absolutely. Right? If you're not pushing it, then you're sleeping.
Exactly, man. Exactly. Look at the Olympics in like 1915 and like the type of movements they were doing. And then look at like the last Olympics and like the movements have advanced so much because they keep pushing the envelope, right? They're like, hey, if that guy can do that, then maybe I can do a little more. Maybe I can do a little more. Let's push this.
And I mean, that's where you find your true athletes, the ones that's ready to push the envelope.
Yep.
And that's what you have been. That's what you have been throughout your calisthenic career, brother. Like I said, it's everybody knows I get bored with freestyle, but there's always that one or two people that pique my interest again. You, Travis, Jordan, all of those guys, man. I'm like, I always come in like, I'm gonna see the same thing. And this dude has a backflip and catches the bar, or the 720, the 540. And so I'm like, wait a minute, there's still more. It's like what you were saying. There's always more.
The young kids today that are coming out of like Latin America, like Colombia, like Venezuela,
Mexico.
Wow, Mexico. Yeah, bro, it is. They are nuts, dude. 900 to 720 to double ginger. I'm like, what? Like, bro, you guys might as well. It's like if you would have started 3 years earlier, we see you in the Olympics.
It's true. It's true. It's true. It's so true. And I hear this talk about having calisthenics in the Olympics now. I started seeing a couple posts.
The greatest thing.
I've been seeing a couple posts. So that's so. First of all, if it does make it to the Olympics, would you throw your hat back into the ring now that you're a veteran?
Well, the thing is, dude. So here's the thing: is that I wish I can compete right now, but the thing is that I got a spinal injury. We don't know what's going on. I got some swelling in my C4, C5, and these 3 fingers are completely numb. They've been numb for like maybe 4 or 5 months. I can't feel these. If I do a handstand or if I do a backflip, when my hands go over my head, both my arms go numb.
Wow. So nerve damage, possibly nerve damage.
Yeah. So the swelling's in my spine. We're trying to figure it out. I just got scheduled, or I'm actually trying to get scheduled for. I think this is my 6th MRI.
Mm.
I just been doing bouncing around, man, and I can't do nothing right now.
Right.
Like I can't
Right.
handstand without going numb.
Yeah. Wow.
You know,
But you can teach, and
I'm
you've been
trying. Yeah,
teaching.
yeah. I like I'm in the like I'm moving. Like it's up here in my spine. So like, look, if I tilt my head like this, it feels like someone's touching my arm.
Wow. It's a
Like,
nerve shooting pain.
yeah, the
Nerve. Yeah.
nerves are all being pinched or being something.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm moving as much as I can. Like, I'm doing what I can. I've been doing a lot of burpees right now and just like the basics, pull ups and dips and stuff. But yeah, dude, teaching, man. I just try to
Yeah.
just pass knowledge around, dude. That was I was blessed, dude. Like when I found calisthenics, I was around calisthenics, Ricardo. These dudes are very, very educated, very, very willing to pass along the information. So as blessed as I was with that, I just try to keep it going, pay it forward, right? If someone did it for you, then you should do it for 5 more. You know?
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what I appreciate about you guys on the West Coast too. You guys took an educated approach to teaching people how to do movements, whereas everybody else was just pretty much learning, just looking at videos and learning. You guys
Yeah.
actually have facilities and gymnastic trainers and everything else to teach you proper alignment and all these other things, all these key points that a lot of people overlook. But the human body, wear and tear in any sport,
Totally. For sure.
brother. You can't
For
avoid it,
sure.
man. Especially if you're at the top of your game. That's how you get there.
Especially
That's
if you
how
like,
you
yeah,
get there.
if you live in to push the envelope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like that's what I was doing. And right now, I got fucking spinal injury, and that's still how I live. You know what I'm saying? I'm like
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to do like I was like my buddy I was doing burpee was with today. Um, I told him like, hey bro, let's try to build up to doing 110 pump
Mm,
and then see how fast we can get that done, right? So that'll be 1,000 push-ups,
wow,
right? 100 burpees, 10 pump, and so like if we can get that in like 45 minutes, that would be.
bro. That might be the world record. I mean, that might
I
be the
mean,
Guinness record.
I'm just saying, like like you doing burpees, you move fast when you do burpees.
Yeah,
So but then when you add them up, like a 110 pump, that's 1,000 push-ups. And then it's
yeah,
like, man, dude, 1,000 push-ups in 45 minutes. That's pretty damn. I don't know if we
bro.
could do 45 minutes. We might do 2 hours and 45 minutes. Like, who knows? But but I'm just saying, like I'm still like that's just what it. That's just the way I
Yeah,
operate. That's
yeah.
that's the way my wired.
But that's good. That's good that you're still finding ways to move safely. That's the key thing.
Trying, yeah, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Because dude, I was doing a few handstands the other day, and I didn't have no numbness, like
Mm,
and I'm like, hey man, maybe this is getting better,
yeah.
And on Wednesday I went to go see my neurologist. I had I had an appointment, and so I told her like, hey man, I did some handstands about an hour ago before I got here, just to test the water so I can try to tell you a little bit of an update. And I didn't get no numbness, so that's good, right? And she's like, that is good, but stop doing handstands. And I'm like, but it seems like it's like, but like it's like it seems like it's okay. She's like, I'm gonna tell you like this: if the trauma to your neck gets worse,
Right.
you can go completely paralyzed. Like I'm dead serious with you. And I was like, what the? Wait,
Right.
what?
Hmm.
No, don't say that.
Yeah.
I want to work out. Don't be throwing out bombs like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You know? And then she's like, okay, I'll see you soon. We're gonna schedule another. I'm like, wait, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's talk about this a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't be saying going paralyzed and then walk out the door.
I need options. Give me some options.
Yeah.
I need some more options.
I was like, dude, I walked out that thing, dude. I called my manager and I'm like telling him, like, man, this doctor, man, messing up my brain. He's like, dude, we're gonna schedule you for second opinion. You know
opinion.
what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, because I was like, man,
Bro.
you just said, hey, you go paralyzed and walked out the door. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Whoa. You can't just drop a bomb like that and then be like, bye. What the?
Bro, if you need some second opinions, I got some people on the West Coast that might be able to help you out.
Yeah.
I'll plug you to them. I'll plug you to them.
Plug me, bro.
I'll
Plug
shoot
me.
you to them.
Because, dude, it's been almost 2 years, like over 18 months that I've been dealing with this neck thing. I have no idea what's wrong. Why?
Right, right. Yeah.
Crazy. I've seen the
There's
orthopedic surgeon, spine
wow.
specialist, neurologist. I'm bouncing me around, man.
Nah, I'll plug you with my boys. This is what they specialize in, man, and they can probably get you some information. But I'll be
That's all
checking
I
in, brother.
want, dude, is some
Yeah,
information.
yeah. Because I
You
mean, remember,
know?
we're athletes, man. We still want to move. We still want to move. So
Yeah.
we need doctors and specialists that understand that. You know,
Yes.
not the ones that just want you to stay still and take pills.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we still want to move, whether it's a
I
little bit, a
need to
lot.
move, bro.
We need
Yes.
answers. We need answers. Yo, so John,
Yeah.
jump in if you have any questions for Chris before we sign off.
I do. I've been enjoying this the whole time. Let me tell you, brother, I am so inspired, man. Like you almost like I'm pride myself. Like I don't tear up. I don't cry. I don't tear up. But you almost got you the closest person to ever catch me. You got me close. I'm not even going front because your story really is
Bro,
absolutely
John,
incredible,
I'm gonna give you the book. If it doesn't make you cry, I don't know what will.
bruh. Like I'm telling you, like I literally, um, I was thinking about it, just how your life story, and I have a question, and my question is this: if you got the 5 minutes right now,
Wow.
after everything you've accomplished, what would you tell your mother?
Mm.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for sticking by me. Like, you are such an amazing, beautiful soul. Like, you are the reason why I'm still alive, the reason why I have breath, the reason why I have championships, that I have a book. There's a book that's out there in the world now that maybe can help somebody. And that's because of you, Mom. And I just want to say, like, thank you, Mom. Like, everything that that's really, that's really all it is, man. I would, for 5 minutes, I would be saying, thank you, I love you, in various ways. Like, thank you for this. And you are so amazing for that. And I watched you do this for these people. And I watched you do the, and I'm just trying to be like you now. I'm just, like, you radiated love and you just made people believe in themselves more. And like, from a person that fought you tooth and nail, she's like, I know there's something great for you. And I'm like, nope, you crazy lady. You losing your mind. I'm affecting you. My mind's so messed up. It got you believing some craziness. And she was like, and dude, and her sticking by, that would be what it is, man. And that if I can just, from the bottom of my heart, just be able to express the greatest amount of gratitude to her and just say thank you and I love you.
I gotta say, it's one of the most profound stories I've ever heard in my life. And being having someone that like I've met you in person and just feeling the energy and off of you. And one thing I want everybody to understand and know is a quick story. Is a friend of mine who, when we first met you together in person, he had gone through a similar story, being incarcerated, and he met you. You guys chatted it up. We each have the book, and we left and we drove. We went back to the hotel, and he said to me, he said, "Yo, you know that short tatted dude? You know, he really made me believe
Mm.
that I could almost do anything." He said, "If he could," he said, "if he's like, because for a long time I believed that I couldn't, I couldn't achieve certain things because I went to jail and because I did a bunch of stuff." And he said, I talked to it was only for a few minutes, but he changed my whole thought process. And we were both believers in God, so to hear you say that was awesome. But you never knew that, and I wanted to tell you that because you changed a life that day, and he'll never forget it,
Man,
and he hasn't forgotten it.
man, dude.
Yeah,
Hey,
brother.
thank you, John, man. Like I thank you for sharing that with me, man. Like
So,
that means the world to me. That means the world to me, man. And that's the thing, dude. I know exactly what he was expressing to you, dude. And that's the thing that like I didn't think that I could change. You know, my mom was telling me like, "Hey, you can change. I believe in you. There's something great for you." And I didn't think I can. I was like, "Man, I'm a really bad person. I've done some really bad things, and I'm stuck in this, and I'm down." And she believed in me, right? And her belief in me was what grew. And then I was able to change, and I changed my whole life around. I've done one completely 180 degrees. I'm on a different path now, and like something that I want to like with my book, and at the end, like you read the book in, like like I'm trying to keep hope alive, right? Like that's the thing that I want people to keep hope alive. That you can change. Change is possible. If I was able to change my life, believing that I couldn't, like fighting people that were trying to help me change, like that's how much I was stuck in that I couldn't change. And for me to be in the position that I am today, change is possible. Change is possible. And see, and then
Absolutely.
my mom believed in me, right? My mom believed in me, and that helped me change. And what I want to get across my message to anybody, because like there's a lot of people that maybe don't have someone that believes in them. I believe in you.
mm,
Read my book. If you then talk to me, if you have a heart, if you're trying to change, even if you're just trying to change careers, it doesn't have to be you're a drug addict and trying to, if you're just trying to change something, if you just want to change paths, I believe in you.
mm,
For me to be in the position I was and then in the position I am in today, I know change is possible. So let me tell you that I believe in you. I know that you can achieve it.
And I hear you say that, and the best part about it is I know for a fact,
bro, that's
I know for a
powerful.
fact that you mean it with everything you got in you. That's the thing
All
that
my every fiber, man.
and that's exactly what I know people believe and radiate, and it's that genuine nature that makes you a beautiful soul, brother. Appreciate you for being on the podcast today.
Thank you, man. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate
Brother,
being on, man. I appreciate you guys for having
bro,
this. Thank you.
this was always meant to be, because remember the first time John spoke to you was in Philly for his podcast, and here we are, full circle, back again,
Yeah.
brother.
Yes.
Full circle,
Yes.
beyond the bars, from the prison to the podium. The podium was the award podium, has been a public speaking podium. The podium is now this, and it's going to continue to grow, because I think you have a lot to teach people, brother. And
Thank you, man.
and you've stepped into this role, and you deserve this role. And I support you in every way we possibly can, because you're a good dude. Um, Tatted history aside, it doesn't matter. There's plenty of people that did wrong that turned around, changed their life, and changed a lot of people's lives. You can turn around, like you said, and you're living proof, brother. And we love you, appreciate you. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
being
too.
on with us,
Love you
Love you,
brother.
guys too,
brother.
man. I appreciate you guys, and very honored to be on, man. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Again, this is the CCA podcast. John McLeod, my man Jonathan McLeod behind the scenes. That is Chris Tatted Strength Luera, one of my good friends. Appreciate you. I can't say it enough, brother.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank
We are the
you.
CCA podcast. Please follow, share, like, show love. Signing off.